Alright, so this is going to be the start of the absolute last video I'm going to make on this yard for the year. And this is 1 day post cut. And as you can see, I do have a lot of good germination, but I do have areas that need to be filled in. Don't worry, that's going to be okay, because it's not as big of an area as it used to be. You can see that area right there. This one right here, there's still a lot of bare area, but the good thing is it's going to fill itself in, and the ground is kind of wet. So now we're past the point where I need to water all the time, and just water. Once again, you do see the mushrooms down here, right there, and that big patch right there. That pretty much just means that there is something super organic breaking down in the ground. And there used to be a tree right here and one right there. But as you can see in this area, this got super covered. You still got some bare area, but the RTF is going to root and then start to spread. So that's going to get very much covered. We're going to run this video into probably next Tuesday. You see this area right here is still bare, but you can also see it is coming in. But you do want to just keep the ground wet, because if there's any of the remaining seed that can still germinate, it can still germinate and fill in some of these areas. And what does germinate is going to root down and then start to spread into the bare area. So that's a good thing. We're going to check back on this area again tomorrow morning. Let me actually make sure I take a picture real quick, so we can kind of see how this area right here fills in over the next week. Now, main reason why I'm going to end this for the season is because it's going to start getting hot, and B, my class actually started this week. Today is actually the first assignment day to turn in. So I can't be out here playing with this. And I got 4 summer classes. I got real estate math, infrastructure policy, law and ethics, and I'm taking French. So I can't be out here playing with this when I should be learning croissant et un orange. Hi, Shea Butter. Thanks. And walking up to this one, this is a magnolia tree. Michael doesn't know what a magnolia tree is, so I'm showing him exactly what a magnolia tree is. This is a magnolia tree. So the thing about this one is, I bought these from one of them places that you get your flowers from, one of those 800 flower places. I'm just gonna mist this down real quick. So it's not super hot out, so it doesn't really need to be watered again, but we're going to give it just a little bit of water. As you can see, it's still green. It is starting to shoot out a little bit, but it needs to kind of still pot itself and pretty much de-stress. Same as this one right here. Just kind of let it down a little bit. Got some weeds in there. I can't spray any weed killer because this is still trying to relax from shipping. But we're going to go ahead and get this one relaxed. Now take a good look at this area right here. Hold on. Let's spray it off just a little bit. Now, as you can tell, a lot of it didn't end up seeding. Not seeding, but a lot of it didn't end up germinating. But a lot of it did. Look at that patch right there. That is a lot. And you can still see that there is still some starting to come in. Right here, right there. And because this is both RTF and RPR, but the RTF is still going to root itself in. It's going to root in and then it's going to spread. So I will probably say by the end of the summer or into winter, or in the fall, this is all going to probably be one big patch of fescue and perennial rye. Yeah, something like that. Get it right, Brandon. Come on. Now, one more thing I want to show you, and then we're going to probably advance this into Saturday. This right here is 1 day post spray, and you can see I just pretty much zorched it. I don't know why this right here isn't dying off a little bit faster. That's fine. Who cares? I'm not going to touch that again. But as you can see right here, this really got hit, and it's already starting to die off. I still don't know what this is. It's not raspberry. I don't care if it was raspberry or not. I did get a good hit on it. So after I did spray this and that as well, it did start to rain. So I'm not exactly sure how much of this got hit or how much of it ran down into the grass. As you can see, I do have clover in here, but this is the backyard. Nobody cares about the backyard. But I don't want to spray anymore. I've already explained why I don't want to spray anymore. I will explain it probably one more time in this video, because I do have to make that disclaimer to a lot of people. But as you can see, I did get a lot of it good, and I did spray down at the root level, at the ground level as well. So a lot of this over the next few days is going to go away. But if I have to explain it one more time, actually it's one offense. As you can see, that's dead. This is going. I probably could have got a little bit of a better spray on this right here, but as you can see right here, this is torched. Now, once again, before we do anything, let me make one more disclaimer. I'm gonna make it again. Once again, trying to explain this because I know this is gonna be a conversation to have. You don't want to do what's called an over application. Over applications, not only could it be damaging to your grass, it's also very irresponsible. You don't want to use things the way they're not supposed to be used. Unfortunately, I have a neighbor who does not care about their side of the yard because they're renters. They don't really care at all about, hey, you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to take care of your side while we take care of our side. And since they don't care, I have to do everything. And I can't go on their side of the yard because of legal reasons. So the only thing I can do is try to kill everything and then lop it off at the fence level. Now, understanding that a lot of that out there is weeds, and it's woody weeds. It's very woody, meaning this stuff has probably grown over the last 10, 15 years, and it's hardened off into a tree instead of just a regular weed. So I can lop it, and it's still going to come back. So for me, the best thing I can do is kill everything and then lop it off at the fence and hope that when I shot this stuff at the root level, the roots will die as well. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but we're going to try it. But I also said I'm going to wait until everything roots in the winter, in the fall. I'm going to wait till the front stuff roots in. I'm going to use pretty much the last of this. I'm going to get one of those counters that goes onto the spigot to count how many gallons I'm going to have. Use that many gallons to run this out, and then I'm pretty much done with this stuff. I'm not going to use it again in that manner. Irresponsible, yes, but do I want to get stuff dead? Yes, I want to get stuff dead. Trust me. So we're going to wrap this up for today. I'm probably going to pick this up on Saturday to do another look at everything, and probably by next Wednesday or Thursday, because today's Thursday. By next Thursday, we're going to wrap this up we're going to wrap up everything with the lawn and just cut for the rest of the spring, summer, and then into the fall when I can use the rest of that. So see you in a couple days. I will not lie to you, that really cool water feels really good today. It's not Saturday yet, So I'm not going to do a little walk around the yard just yet. But there is nothing more beautiful than wet grass. It's like shooting all the way out to right about here. A little bit more is getting right here. I do got some clover in here, right here. Clover isn't a big issue. Clover is pretty good. Clover is pretty good ground cover, and clover does help keep some of the major weeds out as well. And it actually does a lot for oxygen producing. So guess what? I'm gonna leave it. All right, I'm just waiting on Uber Eats with my groceries, and I'm gonna get back to studying. So I did mean to a little bit of something, but as you can see, I'm starting to get way more of these mushrooms. Once again, there was a tree right here, so that will probably explain a lot. But you can see some of them are dying off and new ones are coming up. There's nothing wrong with that. They're fine. If you want, you could just pick them. I would say put on some gloves, because I don't know if they're what they really are. If they're poison, I don't think they are, but you can see there got some new stuff starting to come in down there as well. That didn't take too good, but I'll let that run in. There is something coming in down there. Same with this area right here. You can see there is something coming in. This might need a couple plugs. I think what I'll do is I'll just plug some of this. There is something coming in right there. Same with that area. Some of these little smaller ones, you could just go ahead and plug. You don't need to throw more grass seed if you don't want to. There is something coming in right there, but we'll plug it. Same with that area right there. There is something coming in right there, but once again, whatever doesn't just fill in on its own, you could just spend a couple dollars and plug it. Let me take you to the backyard, because that's really what I was going to do today. Now, before I actually get into the backyard, I did go ahead and I threw some more grass seed down. What I did with this area right here is I threw more grass seed down, put peat moss over the grass seed, and then threw more grass seed over it. And as you can kind of see, I am still getting some germination in here from the old seed. But let me explain something real quick. Even though I threw a lot of grass seed down and a lot of it isn't going to germinate, a lot of it still will germinate. Enough of it will still germinate. As you can see, you got some RTF and some RPR in here. And what it's going to do is it's going to grow, and then the RTF is going to root down and then send out shoots that's going to run across. And as you can see over there, it is coming in right over there as well. You got a little bit coming in right there. Now, the reason for the peat moss, there's two reasons for peat moss. Well, there could be a couple of reasons. One of the best reasons is for moisture retention. So if there's a chance that I can't get back out here on a second or third watering, it's going to hold that water to the seed, thus allowing it to keep growing. It's not going to completely dry out like some of it does. The other reason is because it does mimic seed to soil contact. So putting the grass on the ground, covering it, is going to help with seed soil contact. But another good reason why is because animals love bird seed. So the best way to keep them from some of the bird seed or digging down into the grass seed is to pretty much put some peat moss down, and they can get whatever's on the top. It doesn't matter what they get on top. Sometimes it doesn't matter. But the thing is, this stuff is going to settle down into the soil, and some of the seed will settle down into the soil. But by that point, this should be pretty much starting. As you can see, some of these right there is starting. So maybe by the fall, this should be covered in. But let's get to the backyard. So as you can see, this thing is almost torched, which is a good thing. I don't think I got much of the roots, but I'm not going to come in and respray again with the same stuff. I'm going to come in with something else. But as you can see, that thing is, if this thing survives, I don't know what to say about it. You can see this thing right here. It took a beating. I don't think it's going to come back from this. And like I said, this would have been the day I would have came out here and started chopping stuff down. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it and then just throw it back into their yard, and they can do whatever they want with it. I don't know where that came from, but as you can see, this is resilient because it just shrugged everything off. It said, screw you. So I mean, you could tell it is kind of curling, but you don't know if it's curling because of that or if there's something else going on. But as you can see, that stuff, whatever this is right here, it's zorched. And you could tell a little bit up there what got hit. You could kind of tell something got hit with this, but I really don't want to put another coating of that stuff on this, especially today because it's raining. I can't even tell you what this thing is, but it looks like it's growing from this tree right here. And this tree, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I actually do believe that this is an actual tree and not a weed. But here's where the problem comes in. You see that line right there? It comes right over my power line. So if a storm knocked this limb down, it can knock everything down back here. And I don't like that. So I don't think I have anything powerful enough to cut through that. But man, hold on. That could be a nice picture right there. And of course, this big damn thing right here is dead, but I can't get them to come do anything. To be totally honest with you, here is where the power company should have came in and did something about it, but they didn't. One thing about this area back here, I'm gonna say, is this pretty much is a lost cause. All of this right here, pretty much when it rains heavily, all the water floods back here. So, but this is also the backyard, so I really don't care about it. The only thing I'm gonna do is try to get this stuff off of the fence, along with that right there, and then we're probably gonna call that a life. But if you really want some ASMR, and also, to be kind of honest with you, that backyard right there and most of this is kind of the reason why I am for HOAs. We don't have an HOA here, but fires, toilet. But I do have to say, I really too much care about backyards for the most part. Unless I have to see stuff like this, then I do get rid of it. But that's enough for the day. I couldn't come out and do the things I really wanted to do. But I will say that maybe Monday maybe Monday, I could come out and get that up. If I can find something that can cut that and then trim along this fence. I'll make a decision if I'm going to come out here with with a different weed killer and spray the rest of this, but that'll have to be a different weed killer. It won't be the same stuff. I'm not going to explain again because I've already explained. Alright, let me wrap up this Saturday. I got homework to go do. See you probably Monday. It's Tuesday. You know what that means. I think we only have one more day before they come and cut. So what I'm going to do today or tomorrow is I'm going to let this go one more day of curling and curdling and doing whatever it is it's doing. And then I'm going to come chop. One of the reasons I am trying to kind of let it curdle and die and do what it's supposed to do. That sounds terrible, by the way. One of the reasons is because what I want, and I was going to explain this, but I forgot to explain it, so I'm going to explain it now. One of the reasons why I did shoot the leaves, but then also shot down at the roots, is because I do want this stuff to go through the plant. I don't know if it will go through the plant or not. I don't know if it just starts at the roots and come down, but I want to do the foliar and the roots. That way it works itself through the plant, and hopefully it gets through to the roots of this and kills it at root level, so it doesn't just come back as soon as I lop this off. But as you can see, it is starting to curl. You got a lot of leaf curling back here. Some of this stuff is just shrugging it off. Like, you can kind of see it is curling, but it's kind of shrugging it off. This thing is kind of just shrugging everything off, saying screw it. Up there, you can kind of see curling, but you could also see where it's just laughing this stuff off for some reason. But along the fence, like right here, you can see it starting to turn. You can see these starting to curl. This thing just said, I am dying, I am done, I'm not trying anymore. So I would say I did a decent job. I'm not going to be able to reach all the way up on this one. This kind of goes up a little high. But if you get up underneath here, you can kind of see I could just reach just a little bit of it. Like on this one, just get up high enough, and then I'll just throw it right back here. You come back here for another example. I wasn't able to reach, but I did have an empty hand can that I nailed this with, nailed it down at the root level. As you can see, I got that good. You can see it right here as well. This isn't so bad. This is just simple lop off. You can kind of see it right here too. This one's starting to go. That's starting to go. This is going to be a little bit easier because I could just take it right there and call it a life. I also did get the roots. Now, the other thing is, since I applied heavy back here, you kind of can't see, well, you can see it right here, where there is some damage. You can kind of see right there where there's some damage. Like I said, this area you don't really care about because it's going to stay wet all summer for the most part, because of the fact that it is wet back here naturally, because when it rains, this part just stays wet. And you can kind of see just a little bit on the fence where there's a lot of damage right here. But the thing about this area is, it doesn't even matter. This needs to get weed whacked anyway, so I could just tell them, hey, weed whack all of this out. But as you can see, dead, dying, zorched. along the fence is dead, but that's okay. We could just tell them, hey, maybe I'll just put a brick thing down. All right, so let me go check in on other areas with you. As you can see, this is starting to fill in. You can see a lot of new growth right there, over here. That's really filling in good. You got some starting to push through right there. You got a couple pushing through right there. Got some new growth over there. Sweet. And in this area, you can kind of tell it's still continuing to fill in. That's filling in. This over here is filling in. That's filling in. That needs to be filled in. That needs to be filled in. I'll just plug this area called their life, and I'll plug that area called their life. That area over there too. Alright, well, they come out probably tomorrow. So this will be a Thursday to Thursday. And I'll let you know how it goes on Thursday. But for right now, let me move the sprinkler to another area because I got to get this area done as well. I got to get this watered. Now, hold on. Let me see if you can know this. That is a big change. All right, let me get this moved. Surprisingly, they did come and cut. So let's take one last look at this area right here. And as you can see, this is really starting to fill in quite a bit. Got some new stuff coming in. It rained this morning, so I really didn't think they were going to show up. But they did. And as you can see, you know, they got everything away from it. But they did a really good job. I'm not going to throw any more seed down because as you can see right there, it is starting to come in over there. It's coming in over there. A little bit coming in right here, over here. So I'm going to say by the time it's time to put this lawn to bed, all of this should be filled in, which is good. Now, let me take you to the back. And this is what I've been doing all morning. As you can see, I chopped some off of this right here. I kind of cleared this little area right here out. But as you can see, we got a good line along the fence. I took this up a little bit. And the good thing about this is you could just feel the air movement. It's like back here, it never felt really bad in this area right here. But as you can see, lifting the trees off the ground a lot more, it opens up this area for air. You can see where they shouldn't even cut today. But oh well. And you can actually see right here along the fence, I went ahead and I just dumped it on their side. They don't care. Went ahead, got this tree up off my side, more on their side. So now what I could do is, I'm not going to use the same stuff I had, but I'm going to use a different spray. And I'm just going to spray along this fence and get all this up. I don't want to put more of that stuff on there. But I'm probably going to come out here Saturday and get the remaining of this up once it's not so wet out here. I'm going to try to figure out what that is. The only thing is, now the thing with this one, that is on my side. So I got to take care of that. But everything that's on their side, I don't have to. I'm going to get that up. You can see right here, I did have to put a saw to that right there. I tried to take a saw to this one right here. Couldn't get it. there was, actually, I don't know if you remember, there was two big trees. One was right here. Well, not this one right here, but there was kind of one right here, right next to this one. And then there was one right about right here, like right over here. Those are up, and those are over there. Those are just gonna break down. And as you can see from back here, I got to get these up. But as you can see, actually, that right there was actually the tree that I believe was right here. That's that one. I guess I could just be at that one. That right there, that was a different one I got up. This one right here, and then that one right there. So it kind of opens up the backyard for air. So air just, comes and creates here. And as you can tell right here, like I said, this is just going to be wet. There's nothing I can do about this area right here, because this area is just, it rains, and this area right here just gets wet. But like I say, what I can do is just keep this right here trimmed up. I'm going to try to get this down. I'm going to try to get this taken care of. As you can see, it is kind of dying right there, but you know what? That's fine. No issues. Along my fence is okay. I don't know if these berries are going to grow into something. So I got to make sure I keep those berries not growing. I don't know if they're going to grow into something. They're just going to decompose. They might just decompose. But I'm going to figure this stuff out. Let's take another look up here. As you can see, filling in very well. You can see where it's still filling in right there. Still coming in right there. That huge patch right there. Over there. I still don't feel too comfortable walking on it, and the grass is still very wet, so I don't have to worry about watering it today. Right there. This side over here. I think after a couple more weeks, just go ahead and put some not some seed, we're not going to seed, but we're going to put down some plugs. But you can see that area right there starting to fill in. This is all starting to fill in right here. This is probably going to end up getting plugged. That's okay. It is coming in right there, but I'll probably put a plug in right there. Dead weed. It's coming in, but they'll probably be plugged. They'll probably be plugged. Mushroom is dying. So there we go. I'll probably do one more video on Saturday. I know I said today, but one more, because I want to get the rest of the backyard up. And then that's it. So probably see you Saturday. So this won't be a full video today. We're not going to do a full video, but I just want to show you this little area right here. And as you can see, it is really starting to fill in nicely over here. So you can see this area is still a little bare, but you can see stuff coming in right there. This area has came in very well. Of course, that area was always doing good, but you can see it really filled in. I think when we first started, this area over here was kind of bare. Look at it now. Still got little ones coming in over there. You got a patch right there. You got a little bit over there. You got some over there. This area still needs a little bit of work, but that's fine. It's probably going to run across no matter what. Let me give you the out one. Look at how that looks. That actually came in very good. So I am going to do one last tour tomorrow. But for right now, I'm going to call this area right here a success. Yay! This is going to be it for me. I'm pretty much going to be focusing on projects and midterms after this point. So this is going to be the last I'm really out here messing with the lawn like this. But you can see right there, filling in this big area right here. There's a couple of bald areas, not really bald, but receding areas just a little bit, but those are going to keep filling in. The grass is really wet. Well, it's not wet. The ground is kind of damp. You can see right there it's filling in. You can see right here it's filling in. This one filled in. That one filled in. This one's starting to fill in. That one really filled in. That one's starting to fill in a little bit. Filling in. And then you come over here. I don't know what happened right there, but that one's probably just going to get plugged. This spot right here, I don't know if I'm going to throw more seed right there or if I'm just going to let that fill in on its own. You can tell it's starting to fill in on its own, but it needs a little bit more work. Try not to step on it. You can see it is starting to come in right there. That's probably going to get a plug. This right here is probably going to get a plug. I'm going to have to clean that out a little bit. But here's an interesting thing over here. This is the part where I said I'm not going to seed. I was going to rip all this out. There's a lot of weed in here, but there's also a lot of grass that rushed in as well. So, I'll still put the weed killer on it and see what dies. But as you can see, it did fill in with some grass, and it also filled in with a lot of weed. But for right now, to keep the peace between the yard and everything, I'm just going to go ahead and let it grow. I'll fix it next year. And actually, that area did come out very well. Like I said, on this area, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I might throw some more seed down and give it a couple days of heavy watering, or I might just see if it's going to push itself in. That one right there. Now let's go around to the side of your, oh, that one right there as well. Alright, let's go around to the side of y'all real quick. This area right here is not ceasing to amaze me. How every day you come out and there's just a little bit more, like that area right there, or a little bit more growing in that area right there, starting to come in right there. You can see a little bit right here, but I'm not going to throw any more grass seed in this area. Let me check this real quick. It's kind of moist, but it's kind of dry a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water this again. I'm just going to go ahead and water this again because there is still some viable seed in there that can still grow. But now, turning our attention to this, I'm still hacking away at this. It's just, this thing is just, there's a lot. I'm just really trying to get it off my side of the fence. But I did spray it with weed killer. As you can see, it is dying. It is curling. I'm just going to try to get as much of it as I can off my side and let them deal with the rest. But as you come down this way, you can see I've made some really good progress. How I did lop it down. This area is going to be a headache for a couple reasons. But like I say, as long as it's off my side, I don't care. This did get sprayed down with a different weed killer. And if you remember, there was this one right here I chopped. There was this one right here I chopped. This one right here I chopped. And that one right there I chopped. So as long as it's not on my side of the fence, it's okay. As you see, we still got a lot going on up there. But the difference is, since it's not in my yard, well, since it's not actually, in a certain way in my yard, I too much don't care. Now, it is kind of hanging over my phone line, and that's what I don't like. I don't like it hanging on my phone line. But I realize I actually have to call the telephone company to get them to come out and cut that. Because if I cut it and it falls, that's on me, and I'm gonna have to pay. So they said give their guys a phone call, they'll come out and do it themselves, which is fine by me. As you can see, that's curling. I wish these would hurry up and curl, but they're not curling as fast as I thought they would. I'm gonna get that up real quick. I might cut this one right here. I might cut that one back up just a little bit more, because I'm not going to get up there. I might have to call someone in to come get that one. This right here, it's unsightly, but you know what? It's far enough back on their side that I don't have to worry about it. This one is fresh cut, so I don't have to really worry about it. I might get this little twig up. This one right here has already been cut. I guess I just accidentally left it there. So all I really need to take care of today is this one. And once I'm done with this one, I'm just going to kind of cut it a little bit further back. You can see I kind of did get a little bit of it cut, so we at least got this one. And once we get there, we'll just do like I have been doing, which is walk it back to their side, here in the back, and toss it over. So I'm going to take care of a little bit of this real quick, and I'll get back to you guys. So let me show you what I did, because I gotta show you. I went on ahead and put more seed and peat moss right there. Put some more seed and peat moss right there, right there, right there. That little area. Drop some right there. Some right here and here. I'm gonna let that go ahead and fill in. It's not that big of a deal. And of course, here, all in there, some right here, some right here. I'm gonna let that fill in on its own. I'm gonna let this fill in on its own. I'm gonna let that fill in on its own. I'm gonna let a lot of this fill in on its own, because I don't really need to do it. And I did water. You can tell it's kind of dry right now, but I will water one more time to make sure it's good in water. Let me take you to the back though. So as you can see, I got it off of my side of the fence. I did go ahead and spray everything down to make sure that I got all that done, but as you can see, it's off my side. I really don't know what to do with this little ball right here, this one right here, or this damn thing right here. But I did go ahead and spray it with some weed killer, so hopefully those don't come back. And of course, I cleaned more of this up, sprayed the tips with weed killer so it don't come back either. Sprayed all of this down here. I just went ahead and took care of all that. And this right here, went ahead and sprayed the tips of weed killer as well. Sprayed all of this. This is all their dumping, so since it came off their side, I just went ahead and dumped it on their side. Sprayed all this. Now, it's not that I'm not going to be coming back out here doing anything, because I am going to keep up with everything, but I'm just not going to film it as much anymore as the hard work has been done. So there's really no more need for me to keep coming back out here and probably bothering you guys. So that is what we like to call done. But before I leave, I will give you a little bit of footage of me watering. So here it goes. So as always, with watering, when you first seed, you don't really want to nail anything, because nailing is going to push things every which way. You just want to get it to where it's wet. And you can give a little bit of water to this big patch right here and the areas surrounding it as well. It's no problem. As you can see, I get watered up. We're going to give it a little bit more water. I'll bring it over here. So all of that turns a nice different color. Right, that should be it right there, folks. Let me get the in between, so we're not just watering that little bit of piece. That way anything else can get a little bit of water as well. Alrighty, well, that's it. Like I said, I will pick this up probably after finals. I'll pick this video back up, that's not a problem. But for right now, this is the last one for a little bit. So hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, so you don't miss a thing here as I roast Battle Wine Gaming.